Hello, I'm Kris Oldland. I'm the Editor-in-Chief of Field Service News, and I'm here to bring you a selection today of the interview that we've done recently with Dan Sewell from Espresso Service. Our interview looked across a number of different elements of the journey that Dan has gone through and his team when implementing an FSM solution, in this instance Tesseract Field Service Management. In this section of the interview we're going to be looking at the improvements to service that they've seen since they implemented the system. Okay, so what would you say have been what's the direct improvements that you've seen since making this move? Has it been purely financial? Has it been purely efficiency? Has it been improvements of the service you're delivering? Is it across a layer of free?
Okay.
Identify those for me.
Yeah, I've said what I've said already about Tesseract and about it being an evolution, as an organisation. Well, I'd say exactly the same about Espresso Service. There's an awful lot of tribal knowledge at Espresso Service. Family business that's kind of outgrown being a family business. So one of the things that we wanted to do was to be able to have the ability to look inside the business from anywhere. And one of the unique things in my mind, or one of the great benefits of Tesseract, is that it's always on. So I'm not always at the office, but I can dial into Tesseract and I can see what's going on in real time. So I would say what that gives is complete oversight and transparency of the business from the whole life of a call. And that was quite important, really, because with our old system, it was all, I wouldn't say it was intentionally hidden away, but you had to have some real specialist knowledge to be able to do it. With Tesseract, I could get my mum to dial in and look, so it's actually really simple, very transparent. And as I said to you earlier, I once was a customer. The fact that we can say to customers, you can see our data, you can dial in, you can see in real time, that's really important for them, because again, it's transparency for them. So we use remote. It's called RCA at Tesseract, Remote Customer Access. We're big fans of that, and it enables us to say to the customers, look, there's no hiding. We're not perfect. Yeah. I've said about partnership, right?
Exactly.
But I think customers are a lot more tolerant when they know that they can see the truth. You've heard the saying, there's lies, damn lies and statistics. It's absolutely true, right? Yeah. But if they know that they can see what we can see, then it kind of changes the relationship. And the other challenge for us is that because we're a contract business, we carry a lot of stock. So there's always been an ongoing challenge around stock management. Okay. And Tesseract is really key for this, because before my time in the business, we were writing off 6 figures in terms of stock loss, probably every 2 or 3 years. Now, in my opinion, that it wasn't stolen, it wasn't lost, it just wasn't recorded, right? Somewhere. And I'm sure that's a conundrum that everyone else has in their business. So we wanted to find a system where we could get real-time stock valuation and in such a way that what happens now with Tesseract is that if an engineer uses a widget, he tells Tesseract through RIA that he's used the widget. It goes through to our spare parts aggregator, who will ship it. It will be tracked on Tesseract as being in transit. The engineer will then accept it from being in transit, which then means it's automatically added onto their stock, and it's back in their van, and literally they've got their stock replenished the next day.
I guess that's, sorry to interrupt you, Dan, but I guess that's probably one of the salient points, that going back to what we were talking right at the beginning about having a fit-for-purpose FSM system versus something that's a bolt-on, is understanding how stock is transient in field service more than anything else. That seems to be something that's really kind of one of the key takeaways for you guys. But I'd also like to kind of drive into how the engineers adapted to the system. One of the things that we quite often hear is field service managers telling us that the engineers are more enabled, a bit more empowered, have a bit more confidence in front of the customer because they have their data in front of them. Is that something that's come through for you guys?
Well, again, one of the first things I did, I mentioned already about coming up with a list of requirements. I went out and spent some time with engineers. I went with engineers, and the anecdotal feedback really was that they did not like what they had before, right? So it wasn't difficult to get them to come on board with this new concept. And actually now they love it and have faith in it, and they have faith in the fact that if they use a widget today, it'll be back tomorrow. And they understand that they need to use the system. And the key thing here is you can have the best system you like. If people don't use it, it doesn't matter. So there has to be engagement, right? And that's absolutely key.
And if you'd like to see more of this exclusive interview with Dan Sewell of Espresso Service, then you can follow the links below. And be sure to subscribe to Field Service News at fieldservicenews.com/subscribe. For now, my name is Kris Oldland, Editor-in-Chief of Field Service News, and we'll see you again soon. Cheers.